My name is Tejasri Kosbe, lecturer from Praveen Patil Polytechnic, Bhayandar. My subject is maintenance of electrical equipment. In this chapter 3 is testing and maintenance of rotating machines, part 6, learning outcomes. At the end of this video, you will learn about methods of measurement of temperature, momentary overload test, vector diagram and equivalent circuit of a 3-phase induction motor. So first, methods of measurement of temperatures, in which first method is thermometer method, second is resistance method, and third is embedded temperature detector method. So first, thermometer method. In this method, the temperature is determined by thermometers applied to the accessible surfaces of the completed motor. The term thermometer also includes and non-embedded thermocouples resistance thermometers, provided they are applied to the points accessible to the usual bulb thermometers. When bulb thermometers are employed in places where there is a strong varying or moving magnetic field, alcohol thermometers should be used in preference to mercury thermometers. So this is the actual image of bulb thermometer. Next method is resistance method. In this method, the temperature rise of the windings is determined by the increase in the resistance of winding. Determination of temperature rise of copper windings from increase in the resistance. The temperature rise T2 minus T1 may be obtained from the ratio of the resistance by the formula T2 plus 235 upon T1 plus 235 is equal to R2 by R1, where T2 is temperature of the winding at the end of the test and R2 is resistance of the winding at the end of the test. And T1 is temperature of the winding at the moment of the initial resistance measurement, and R1 is initial resistance of the winding, that is at cold. For practical purposes, the following alternative formula may be found convenient, which is T2 minus TA is equal to R2 minus R1 upon R1 in bracket 235 plus T1 minus TA, where TA is temperature of cooling medium at the end of the test. So when the temperature of a winding is to be determined by resistance, the temperature of the winding before the test measured by thermometer shall be practically that of the cooling medium. Next method is embedded temperature detector method. So embedded temperature detectors are resistance thermometer or thermocouples built into the motor during construction at points which are inaccessible at motor is completed. Methods of temperature measurement by embedded temperature detectors. So at least 6 detectors suitably distributed around the stator shall be built into the motor. All reasonable efforts consistent with safety shall be made to place the detector at the various points at which the highest temperatures are likely to occur in such a manner that they are effectively protected from contact with the cooling medium. The location of detectors shall be as follows. So first location is 2 coil side slots. So when the winding has 2 coil sides per slot, each detector shall be located between the insulated coil sides within the slot. Second location is more than 2 coil sides per slot. So when the winding has more than 2 coil sides per slot, each detector shall be located between insulated coil sides in position at which the highest temperatures are likely to occur. So first method is thermometer method, in which you can use direct thermometers to measure the temperature. Second method is by calculating the resistance. So by calculating the resistance before and after the test, you can calculate the temperature. And the second method is embedded detector. So by using sensor also you can measure. So this is the diagram in which you can see the embedded detector sensor This is also the second diagram, in which also you can see the embedded thermocouples which are inserted at the time of manufacture of the machine, and from that you can measure the temperature. Next test is momentary overload test. So this test is applied after heat run test. The motor should be capable of withstanding momentary overload to 10 seconds without stalling or abrupt change in the speed. The excess load is applied gradually as per the table below. So this is the below table, in which HP of motor is up to 50 HP. The excess load you can apply is 100% and duration of excess load is 15 seconds. Next is above 50 HP, the excess load is 70% and duration of excess load is 15 seconds. Then above 500 HP, excess load is 60% and duration of excess load is 15 seconds. Next is the vector diagram of induction motor. So this is the image of vector diagram of induction motor. Next is justification of phase induction motor is a generalized transformer. An induction motor is similar to a transformer in many respects. In view of these similarities, an induction motor is called as a generalized transformer, and it is for this reason that the stator winding of an induction motor is treated as its primary and the rotor winding as its secondary. The only difference is the secondary of induction motor is rotating and short circuited, while transformer secondary is stationary and connected to load. The load on induction motor is mechanical while load on transformer is electrical. Next is equivalent circuit of induction motor. So where R1 is the stator resistance per phase, X1 is the stator reactance per phase, R2 dash is the equivalent rotor resistance referred to stator per phase, X2 dash is the equivalent rotor reactance referred to stator per phase, and RC is the resistance representing core loss, and Xm is the magnetizing reactance per phase. V1 is the per phase supply voltage to the stator. AC is the sleep of the motor. So this is the equivalent circuit of induction motor referred to stator. So actually equivalent circuit of induction motor and equivalent circuit of transformer are same. And this is the approximate equivalent circuit, in which you can add the resistance and reactance to easy for calculation. Next are the equations. So V1 is equal to minus E1 plus I1 R1 plus J I1 X1 is equal to E1 plus I1 in bracket R1 plus J X1, which is equal to minus E1 plus I1 Z1, and E2R is equal to I2R R2 plus J I2R into X2 is equal to I2R in bracket R2 plus Jx2 is equal to I2R Z2R. So these equations we can derive from this equivalent circuit. Thank you.